Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. We are with Denise Christensen from the Merryman Performing Arts Center in Kearney, Nebraska. Denise, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your facility.
Well, the Merryman Performing Arts Center in Kearney, Nebraska, it's located in central Nebraska. We're on the way to everywhere. We're just 5 hours east of Denver. We are a beautiful historical restored theater that was built in 1926, and the community raised about $6 million about 15 years ago to renovate it to a performing arts center to serve central Nebraska.
Fantastic, fantastic. What kind of events do you have at your Performing Arts Center?
We are unique in that the community renovated the theater to be a place for affirmation for the community, meaning that we have everything from national touring performances, country music artists, classical concerts, the local barber shoppers perform at the Merryman, and we even have elementary music programming that goes on at the concert and a hall. So yeah, it is really great. So we program a season series, and then we also host special concerts and programming because, again, since we're on the way to everywhere, we love when artists stop and want to perform in our beautiful venue.
So in the number of venues that we have interviewed, one of the challenges that we've heard is they've often wanted to get the younger crowd into the facility, because if they can get them into the facility, they feel like they can secure their future. And so I'm going to ask you specifically a little bit down the road here. I definitely want to know about this elementary program, because it seems like a great idea to do exactly that, to get the community and the younger community into your theater so that they have that connection at an early age, so that they continue to support the arts as it goes through there. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But more importantly, Denise, tell me a little bit about you. Where'd you grow up and how did you get into the performing arts administration side?
Well, I've always had one foot in the arts. I began dancing at a very young age until I grew into, I'm almost 6 feet tall, so I was never going to be a ballerina.
Right.
But I love tap and dance, and did that and continue to most of my life, dance. But I also was involved in theater at a very young age. Hence, growing that love for the performing arts. But I I actually was born in Chicago, and my family moved all around the Midwest. But I tell people my heart is actually in Texas, because most of my family lives in Texas, so I have lots of Southern roots.
Yep.
But I have lived in Nebraska most of my life. Here in Kearney is a wonderful community. We're raised a couple kids, and I was involved in nonprofit management for most of my career. Okay. And about 12, 13 years ago, I was getting a little burned out in the field. I was actually in the child welfare field, which is because I have a strong passion for children, so I'm glad you'll see this connection. Mm-hmm. And I was actually doing some theater programming for kids as part of my previous nonprofit experience. And then I almost had this epiphany that I thought I would love to be in the performing arts. So I knew my predecessor from living in Kearney as director of the performing arts, and then I joined as assistant director of the Merryman. So let's see, that was in 2009. So I can't even do the math anymore. And then I became director in 2012. and have loved every second of it since.
Yeah, this seems like not only just a perfect fit for you, but now we latch on to this background of you have this passion for children. It's a perfect combination for your community of your passion for the performing arts. But we just talked with a young man, and he gave us the analogy. He was thinking about getting into a pastoral career, or he was going to do performing arts and leadership. And one of the things that he triggered right away was that you could tell the health of a church and the future health of a church by the number of children running up and down the hallways. And he applied that to the same philosophy to his theater in solving their solution of the longevity life of their theater. And you've already done that. You had that naturally in your background. So that is a wonderful place to be for your community. And it sounds like a great strength. Denise, if you had to pinpoint a weakness in your facility or an area that you could strengthen, what do you think that area would be for you?
Well, that is a great question. It's always that struggle of staffing.
Okay.
You know, we would love to do more, but we're a small theater. We're 760 seats. We have 3 full-time and about 3 part-time staff, as well as the University of Nebraska Kearney is located here. And so we have many interns that we bring in throughout the academic year.
Sure.
To expose to theater arts and management. And many of those students have a background in music or, have a connection to the arts, and sometimes don't at all. And so we try to bring them as well. So that is the it's just major burnout. I mean, it would be great to have performances every 2 weeks, but being able to staff those performances, because those are good 12-hour days when you have a performance. And if we could have team A and team B and rotate people so they wouldn't get so worn out and tired, because it is a lot to present programming.
Yeah, but you have a vision. Like I can tell just by you talking about it, you have a vision and you have a plan of how that could implement, and just getting there is that process. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that fundraising is probably one of your specialties. If you've been in the nonprofit realm for as many years as what you have been, what are some of the best fundraising campaigns and ideas that you as a theater have there in Kearney?
Oh, that is, it is great, but it's tough. It's about building relationships with your donors and having the time to nurture those relationships. We are just getting ready to embark on a planned giving campaign for many of our donors. So again, that's kind of connecting the people who are the foundation of the Merryman, which is we have over 600 seasoned members from 52 communities in South Central Nebraska. So not just Kearney, all these little farming communities in about a 75-mile radius. Yeah. And those people love to come to the Merryman, and have been coming for the last 15 years. And so now we need to build that legacy and encourage them to consider giving, either now or in the future, to sustain the Merryman for those future generations, as you're talking about. So we're old enough now that we're finally ready to take that step, and that's been a long time coming. And COVID and that just caused everything to
Denise,
be delayed. But we're moving forward now.
Do you have an internship program there at the Merryman?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. A couple different, in the technical side as well as the business management side.
How do people get a hold of you? Because I am looking at you and I am talking to you this morning, and I am thinking this lady has it all, and the knowledge that you have I'm just thinking an internship program is fantastic, not only for you and your facility, it helping in the staffing needs, but your knowledge and your level of expertise could escalate someone's career who's just getting started in the performing arts director type of position, that administration position. Man, I just think it would be a great. So how would people get a hold of you for that?
Well, I think the easiest way is go to our website. They can learn about us, merrymancenter.org. And there's a way to contact us. And I get frequent messages from people from all over looking for anything. That's the best way they can learn a little bit about the Merryman first. And would love to hear from them, because we always welcome that. We'd love to have that experiences and give that opportunity to people, because a lot of times I talk about no matter where you go in the country, theater management is pretty much the same. It just depends on the size. You know, we have, 6, 7 staff, and larger theaters have 30 staff or even 40 staff. And a lot of them are connected to universities. But we're unique that we're a nonprofit theater just for the community. So
no, absolutely. Let's have a little fun for a second. What is the all-time #1 best concert you've ever seen in your life for you?
Wow, for me, oh my gosh, that is such a hard question. That should be. It's a hard question to ask because to answer, because I love so many different genres. I have been moved by classical music. I've been moved by street musicians on a corner playing from South America, playing the pan flute. I get to dance, I love country music. I just love anything that brings, because I think music and the arts connect us all.
Sure.
And so there's just so many different.
So what? Pick one out of all of them that touched you the most.
Well, I'm going to pick on a personal experience, and this kind of relates to growing up in the arts. My daughter, of course, as we talked about, you need to expose those children to the arts, give them to the opportunity. I had no idea that she would love theater.
Oh, wow.
Growing up. Yeah, but gave her the opportunity to be in a children's show, and she auditioned and got the role of Annie when she was 10 years old, and was in 15 sold out performances at the local community theater. And so as a mom, to be super proud of your daughter singing, and
that's awesome.
10 years old, she teases me now that she peaked then. I should have taken her to California. So she
how special is that?
It goes back to the role. I think we talk about it a lot, that experience in theater, and then she went on to high school to be in theater. She was also on the speech team.
Oh yeah.
That served her so well in college and now in her career, that she is so comfortable getting up and talking in front of people.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's and that's what you want. That's what you want kids and parents to understand.
Yes.
That it's not about the theater, but you have the opportunity. If you're not an athlete, or maybe you're an athlete, you can be in the theater too.
Yes.
And those life skills translate.
It's about the characteristics and the life skills that you develop, whether it's athletics or performing arts. It's why sometimes it is heartbreaking. Your daughter made that statement of, you should have took me to California. Yeah, but if you would have, then that's all she would have done for the rest of her young childhood. Whereas being in the Midwest, and that opportunity is there to do so many things, to get a chance to develop those skills and then take them into a career that you can utilize them in. And I'm sure she's doing that at just a different level as it goes through there.
And the fun thing is that she's still in a band. She's lead vocals for a ska band.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So she's still using her arts.
And she's happy, right?
Oh,
that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Denise, I'm not going to take any more of your time today, but what a blessing it is to listen to you, to hear your story, to hear about your theater, what you guys are doing there in Kearney. I consider Nebraska a really it's kind of like a northern Texas. It really, really is. The terrain is very similar. You've got your hill country on the east. You've got your sand hills on the west. All the cowboys are the same. It doesn't matter where we're at as it goes through there. So I'm really, really looking forward to in the future seeing your facility, and hopefully we can work together in the future. And thank you for what you're doing. And by the way, if anyone listening hears this and you're looking for an opportunity, I can't think of a better mentor than this young lady right here. So Denise Christensen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, and good luck, and continue doing great work you're doing.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and